10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Huskies and Rams.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Thanks.
Let's go. Good evening, fans, and welcome to Beltline 5 TV1's coverage of the 2017 U Sport Final 8 Men's National Basketball Championships. My name's Alan April, joined here by Adam Detien. And Adam, in our third quarterfinal of the day, it's a high-powered matchup filled with lots of star power. The #1 Ryerson Rams and their explosive backcourt taking on the #8 St. Mary's Huskies, who shouldn't be slept on in this tournament.
This is going to be an up-and-down ball game, sorry, Alan. I'm excited too much. I'm cutting you off here. Two teams that are going to go at it offensively. Ryerson very powerful. Their two stars, more than the reason why they're shooting 44% from the field, third in their conference. St. Mary's played a stellar championship game last week against the Dalhousie Tigers, both coming in on a true high into this tournament. Let's check out some of the stats from Ryerson. There you see the man, Emmanuel DeRisa, 19 points a game, 4.8 rebounds, 3 assists, almost 2 steals. This guy is an all-around player, and he's joined by his wingman, Adika Peter McNeely, 19.2 points of his own. Very similar stats. Peter McNeely rebounds a little more, 7 rebounds, 3.6 assists. These two guys, if you can control them, you can control Ryerson. But ask Carleton last weekend in the OUA final, they ran loose and got the championship. Now, for the Huskies, hometown fans here have seen it all before. Theon Reefer, his inside-outside game, smooth off the dribble for a player his size, has a great outside jump shot, good for 17.5 points this year, rebounds the ball very well. And then there's the guy who sets the table for everybody, Marquis Clayton. 19 big points a game for his crew. Alan, if his outside shot is working and defenses come up to him close, look out for him to get downhill, can move the ball with the best of them. This is going to be two elite matchups here on either side of the floor. I'm excited.
Absolutely, it's going to be a great matchup tipping off in just a few minutes, but right now we're going to send it over to the PA announcer Chris Lydon for player introductions.
Home in the basketball capital of Atlantic Canada, right here, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Tonight's first game features 8th-seeded St. Mary's Huskies versus the top-seeded University of Ryerson Rams. As the leader for university sport in Canada, U Sports welcomes you to today's event. U Sports encourages and promotes good sportsmanship by students, athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, interrogatory comments, or any other intimidating remarks will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Thank you for your support and cooperation, and enjoy the game, Halifax. Be sure to check out usports.ca for all the up-to-date information on everything university sport. Now, folks, the moment you've been waiting for, let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's teams. From Nova Scotia and representing Atlantic University Sport, the starters for Halifax's own St. Mary's Huskies. Welcome to the floor, 6'4" card number 7, Brian Rose. Welcome, 5'9" card number 8, the sensational and Halifax native, Marquise Clayton. Welcome, 6'2" card number 12, Kamar Aline. Welcome, 6'8" forward number 21, Achul Luol. And rounding out the squad, 6'6" card number 22, Theon Reefer. The Huskies are led by head coach Jonah Tossig. And now from Ontario, and logically representing Ontario University Athletics, the starters for the Ryerson University Rams. Welcome to Halifax, 6'5" card number 4, Emmanuel Derisa. Welcome, 6'7" forward number 9, Adam Vole. Welcome, 6' guard number 15, Miles Jarvis. Welcome, 6'3" card number 21, Adika Peter McNeely. And last but not least, 6'6" forward number 22, Juwan Granum. The coach of the Rams is Roy Rana, now in his 7th year. The officials for today's game are Mike Wieland, Nick Donnelly, and Riley Carrison. At this time, we'd ask that you please rise, remove your caps, and join Maura Whitman for the singing of our national anthem.
Fans, this is the moment the whole season has come down to. For the first time in 5 years, a Halifax team on home court here in front of the Scotiabank Centre faithful for the U Sports Final 8. And the Ryerson Rams, they come in as the #1 seed, the OUA champions, but it would be a mistake for them to take this Huskies opposition lightly.
St. Mary's Huskies have so many athletes with talent, scored, big guy inside, Lual, Reefer going to mix it up at both ends, perimeter, interior. Ryerson plays a similar style, and they like to keep the pace up of the game. They like to keep scoring that basketball. Remember, Ryerson hits more threes than anyone else in the OUA in the regular season, almost 12 a game. St. Mary's going to have to be aware of that and be aware in the back end if they close out too hard. It's a lot of things that both teams have to worry about.
And we're underway as the Rams control the opening tip. This is Jawan Granum, and Reefer all up in his grill, forces the turnover. And here come the Huskies. Kamara Lane, the third-year guard out of Scarborough, Ontario. Lual, long two, can't get that to go, and a Lane in there working hard for the second chance opportunity.
Well, for people who don't see Lual play all the time, he can extend it out there for a big guy, but the St. Mary's Huskies effort level to start has been fantastic.
As Clayton can't get that to go, Lual on the second chance, and finally the Rams, Granum gets a defensive board.
This is the challenge for St. Mary's, is to stay engaged for 40 minutes. They don't have a long bench, but if they can empty the tank here and stay sustained, it's a good start.
This is the all-Canadian guard, Adika Peter McNeely, misses his first field goal attempt, but it's going to stay Rams ball on the baseline, fresh 14 on the clock.
And you got to remember, just 4 days ago, 5 if you want to count today, St. Mary's is out here in a tough championship ball game. Ryerson getting their first feel of this court at the Scotiabank Center. So St. Mary's hopefully can take advantage, if you're a Huskies fan, of a quick start.
Post touch here for Adam Vall, the 6'7" forward out of Kitchener. Vall goes up, and they're going to get Lual on the foul, as we're going to see those two big men battle down low.
Well, Alan, if they're going to call it that tight, we could be in for a long night. Let's see if we look at the arm here as Lual goes straight up, hits the basketball. I'm telling you, if that's going to be a call, almost every play could be a foul. So we'll see if the officials can adjust to that.
Adam Vall shoots 83% from the free throw line, but can't knock down the first. And the bright lights, the big arena here at the Scotiabank Center. You never know how teams are going to come out shooting in Halifax.
Well, we just saw McGill miss a ton of free throws in their game,
as Vole misses them both. A Lane with the defensive board for St. Mary's. And here comes Theon Reefer. Reefer had a huge weekend in the AUS Championships last weekend. Pull-up jumper gets it to go, and the Huskies are on the board.
And you can tell his stroke's going well is when he's not fading around, going side to side, backwards. That was a nice in-rhythm, up and down jump shot from Theon.
Now Miles Charvis. Charvis drives, kicks it out. Ball, he'll pull the trigger on a three ball. That's off, and Theon Reefer skies up for the rebound.
Interesting shot selection from a guy that just bricked 2 free throws to step out and hit an open three. Almost a big one.
Reefer can't get that one to go. Here come the Rams. This is Emmanuel DeRisa. DeRisa, an OUA first-team All-Star, averaged better than 19 points per game. Now Vole looking to get it back to DeRisa, banging down low with a Lane. Gets it to go. Count the bucket, hoop in the harm for Emmanuel DeRisa.
Amazing strength in there. Catches that. Patience for Vole. Didn't want to force one up. Seals off the smaller Aline. No chance. Little shoulder. Don't reach in there if you're Aline. Point blank shot anyway. Let him make it.
As DeRisa converts a three-point play, and that's something to watch in this one. Not only are the Rams guards prolific shooters, they're big and physical as well.
Well, look at the size difference between him and Kamara Aline, even on this end of the floor. Good screen from Lual.
Aline using his speed, can't finish there. Nice job contesting the shot by Adam Vole, and it's going to be Rams basketball.
Great help on the backside. Read that he was beat.
Now the Rams looking to push it quickly. Here's Miles Charvis. Charvis, third-year guard out of Mississauga. Takes a screen from Vole, pull-up three. Off back rim, but rebounded by Granum. Now Manny DeRisa from 35 feet. And he is a man on a mission. Emmanuel DeRisa knocking it down all the way from Toronto.
What a bomb from DeRisa. He's going to get hit with the foul that time. But they're all business. No big celebration. Drill it, run back on D. Coach Rain upset with that one. This guy can't get in foul trouble.
You take another look there at the Derisa bomb off the rebound. Nobody around him, as you don't expect him to shoot from that far out, but the Huskies, Clayton looking to answer. Off front rim, rebounded by Derisa. Now the Rams push the pace. Derisa in transition. Kick out for Charvis. Gets it back from Volt. Charvis into the lane, puts it up. Can't get it to go off rim. Reefer with the defensive board for St. Mary's.
Well, it's interesting Clayton missed that three. He's either hot or he's not. In the past, he would keep forcing. Last weekend when he was off in the AUS playoffs, he got going downhill to the rim. We'll see if he can pull that off against Ryerson.
Rams looking to come the other way after the Reefer missed mid-range jump shot. Teresa again from deep. That time short, and the Huskies fans let him hear it.
Well, Lean's going to go under that ball screen that deep. Nice rim run from Luol.
And Luol is fouled. Good awareness by Clayton, looking up and finding his big man up court. And Luol is going to head to the line for two.
But back to the other end now. Well, let's look at the run here first from Luol. You see he's running there. They launch it down. Vol says, I'm not going to give you an easy one to start. But thinking about St. Mary's defense, Teresa nails one from downtown. No panicking, Kamara Lean. He says, you want a ball screen that far out? Just goes under on the exchange. Dares him to jack another, which was all air. So the St. Mary's team is going to make Ryerson beat them. They have a lot of confidence in themselves, despite coming in as the AUS runner-up.
Luol goes 1 of 2. Three-point game in the early goings here at the Scotiabank Center in Halifax, and the crowd is picking up. Teresa is rejected by Rose. Brian Rose showing off his athleticism, denying Emmanuel Teresa at the rim. Now Rose on the other end, kicks for a lane, corner three ball, can't get that to go, and here come the Rams. Teresa again going right at Rose and dishes it off at the last second to a wide open Kevon Small.
Well, you can't be block hungry out there, Alan. You know, Rose had that all taken care of, cut him off, Rose up to elevate and to contest it. Reefer thought he was going to get a swat, instead his man has a wide open layup.
Now Clayton, kick out a lane once again from three off front rim, but it comes right back to him.
Closeouts by the Rams, very impressive. Every 3-point shot so far for St. Mary's contested.
Now Rose knifing into the lane, off glass, can't get that to drop. Loose ball, and great hustle there by Luol to keep it Huskies possession. Clayton, he's stripped, bouncing ball, nobody can hold on to it, and we're gonna get a foul coming against St. Mary's. Gonna go against Kamara Lane, that's his first personal.
Well, after all of that, along the sideline, inside, Clayton going up into the body. Aline gets hit with his second personal foul and a cheap one when Ryerson had the basketball. That's poor recognition there to let the game flow. Didn't make a whole lot of sense.
And with that, Will Fyander, the second-year guard out of Halifax, checks in, replacing Elaine. Now Teresa takes a screen from Small, gets it back over for Peter McNeely. Peter McNeely off the bounce, driving at Fyander, can't finish. And good awareness there by Brian Rose, able to win possession of the rebound for the Huskies.
Well, Rouse is one of the best athletes on St. Mary's. Isn't always the most heralded guy on the squad. But you see how he's able to elevate defensively. You see at the speed he gets end to end. And his rebounding ability is so well. St. Mary's right now, they're only down 5. Ryerson is really rolling in terms of recognizing the matchups. You saw the last time Peter McNeely went right at Will Fyander as soon as he checked in the game. Make the young guy guard you. Ryerson, very smart basketball squad. 3 of 10 though to start. They were a little tight to begin. And the thing is, if you're Coach Rana, you're going to say, listen guys, St. Mary's is 1 of 10. You're making them play very fast. Stay disciplined on your closeouts. Don't foul these guys. They're going to take some wild shots. If they make a crazy spinning layup or two, no problem. The only real open shot was Reefer's first one and the rhythm around the elbow. So Ryerson, despite a tough shooting percentage of their own, doing everything they want to in terms of controlling the basketball game, controlling the matchups they want. Mentioned the closeouts. A lot going right now for the white and blue.
Absolutely, as you take a look inside Jonah Tossig, St. Mary's huddle right there, and the Huskies struggling to find distance offensively. They're just 1 of 10 from the field to begin this one.
Well, when the defense on the back end of a rotation is as good as Ryerson, you're going to have a lot of kickouts. You're going to have a lot of contested threes. What St. Mary's has to do is maybe throw a shot fake or two in there, get these guys coming out hard, dribble downhill, see if you can make 2 and 3 passes together instead of just a home run, 1 pass, drop off, or a kick out, 3 on 1 pass. They need to string a couple things together. I like when they brought Luol up to get involved in some ball screen action with Rouse and Clayton there over last weekend, and if they can get that going tonight, that might be a solid idea as well. Then they can space out that defense a little more.
And this webcast of U Sports Final 8 Men's Basketball Championships is proudly powered by Bell TV 1, Bell Line 5, 3 amazing services, 1 amazing price. As the two teams return to the floor after the timeout, the Huskies looking to get something going offensively. Just 3 points in the first 5 minutes of this one. Clayton running the point for the Huskies, the 5th year out of Halifax. Finder gets it across the timeline, but is immediately pressured, and it's going to remain Huskies ball as Small had a foot on the out of bounds line as he touched that one.
Well, you can see a target for Ryerson at both ends is going to be Will Finder.
Now Rose, fall away jumper, can't get it to go, but we get a whistle, and Rose is going to head to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Well, at least it's consistent out here, Alan. I'll give it that. Let's check out this fall away from Rouse. Again, a contest for Granum. Little tap on the elbow.
First personal here for Jawan Granum, 3rd team foul for the Huskies, and Rose misses the first. 70% free throw shooter, is the 2nd team All-Star in his 5th year out of Mississauga. Rose goes 1 for 2, cuts the lead to 4.
Well, St. Mary's as a team was 3rd to last in the AUS in terms of free throws made per game. So that's not something they're going to rely on here.
Now Peter McNeely kicks it out. Granum for 3. That rims out. Big time board by Theon Reefer. And he's going to bring it the other way. Now Fian into the lane. Floats it. Can't finish. And can't come down with his own rebound. Peter McNeely, now the Rams have numbers. Kicks it out to Roshane Roberts, who just checked in. And Roberts is tied up. It's going to be Huskies ball coming the other way.
Well, nice hustle back that time for Finder. He was the last guy after taking to the floor there, coming back right into defensive position to tie that up.
Marquis Clayton, 1st team AUS All-Star. In his 5th year out of Halifax, had a tremendous AUS tournament in his final season, and this time whistled for the charge. So that's going to be 4 team fouls already against St. Mary's.
But it's better action. You know, he doesn't have to leave his feet there. They set up the ball screen, create a lane for Marquis. Instead of leaving your feet, take an extra dribble, even if you go east-west, like across the lane, away from the hoop, make a solid kick out on 2 feet, you're way better off. Now he takes a foul, and as you mentioned, that's their 4th. Still 4 minutes to play.
Kevon Small, knife into the hoop, can't finish with the left hand. See big Brent Martindale in the game now for St. Mary's. He was one of their more unheralded heroes last weekend. A couple big performances at the AUS Finals. Martindale gets it down low for Fiander, who once again can't control it. It's going to remain Huskies ball with 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, we'll see if Martindale can mix it up inside. The taller, stronger athletes so far of Ryerson have been mixing it up in the paint on the rebound again. Martindale, an effective roll guy, a good cutter into open space.
We get a foul whistled before the inbound. It's going to go against Adika Peter McNeely. That's going to be the 4th team foul against Ryerson.
Well, Finder was cutting hard there. A bit of a needless foul.
Reefer now drives into the lane, can't finish. Martindale cleans it up, and bouncing ball, who wants it more? Huskies come away with it. It's Reefer. Finder wide open, corner 3, can't get it to go. Nothing falling early on for St. Mary's.
Big time guard block out that time for Ryerson. A nice job of slowing that down.
Filip Vujadinovic with his first touch and nearly turns it over. Granum gets it back. Mismatch here, Jawan Granum against Marquis Clayton. Clayton pulls the chair out, and it's going to remain Rams ball, but just 5 on the shot clock. The official talking to Coach Jonah Tossig, telling him to calm down a bit.
So he's been warned. It's been a tight leash. We saw Coach Van Horen get teed up in the opening game. Smart play by Clayton.
Oh, a costly foul there as the shot clock was down to 3, and Fyander is whistled for the reach. And that's going to be his second personal as well. So 2 key guards for the Huskies, Will Fyander and Kamara Lane. Actually, they're going to call that as Fyander's first. Computer stats had it as his second.
Well, that's lucky because the bench is not super long down there for St. Mary's. A lot of pressure from Ryerson. The thing for St. Mary's is you can't take a break on defense. They typically can cruise, look for that 10, 15 seconds to catch their breath. Not tonight. You need to play both ends, full shot clocks.
Adika Peter McNeely knocks down a couple free throws for his first points of the game. And now the Rams lead by 6. Rose hangs and finishes, and that's what he does best.
And he can get up there. If Vol's going to stay inside the charge circle, Rouse can elevate and finish that.
As Adika Peter McNeely's pass is kicked away. Going to remain Rams ball with 18 on the shot clock.
Better perimeter pressure there for St. Mary's. Seems like they feel like if they can create those turnovers, get that big play, get that big dunk, something to keep it moving. Look at Clayton guard the perimeter now.
Jarvis finds ball in the corner. 3 ball is off. And here comes Brian Rose and the Huskies. Rose showing off that around the back dribble. Finds Clayton, pull up 3 ball. Can't get that one over the front rim, and the Huskies really struggling, just 2 of 16 from the field.
Well, they're gonna have a little bit of nerves too. You're going up against the first seed in the tournament. Clayton has a shot that seems quick. That's St. Mary's basketball.
And it's that time, Jarvis rather shoots the 3, and that's off. And neither team really getting too much going offensively. Just 10-6 in the early going.
Yeah, and Alan, Reefer's been committed to the glass. 6 rebounds, tough turnover that time.
Jarvis with a burst of speed, able to finish around Fyander. And Miles Jarvis turns on the Jets and finishes in transition.
Great finish through some contact as well. Got that up on the glass.
Rouse now, bottled up there by Kevon Small, and Small able to come away with the steal. Now Jarvis kicks it out. Peter McNeely wide open for 3. That rims out. But Adam Ball beating 2 Huskies to the basketball for the tip-in, and Coach Joe Natosik is going to take a timeout with his team trailing by 8.
Well, let's check out this sequence. Rouse comes down, they guess right which way he's gonna go, dribbles it right into the feet of the defender, good job holding the ground, fights through the contact, here we go, on the move, stand still 3, lucky this wasn't 3 points, taking on 2 Huskies is Vol, look at go up 2 in a row, clear him out. Vol couldn't do it from the outside, he's working the glass inside. Nice job for the Rams, making the most out of a lead right now despite shooting under 30%.
Yeah, and the Rams, a high-scoring team, 4th in the country in scoring with nearly 89 points per game. And get a good look at their huddle there. Head coach Roy Rana, really a rising star in Canadian basketball coaching circles. Well, not so much rising. He's been a name for a while there. Head coach of the Canada Junior men's team in the past. Has had some NBA Summer League and training camp experience with the San Antonio Spurs of all organizations, as well as the Utah Jazz. And Coach Rana in the past couple years has taken down the Carleton Ravens in the OUA Championship. The question is, can they do it here at the Final 8?
Yeah, it starts at the top. You know, it's an organization at Ryerson. The athletic department's done a great job getting the Tommy Center going there. Coach Rana, all that experience, took the year off. The team still won the championship while he was out on sabbatical, expanding his coaching buck. And now they're right back poised to do it again.
There's Theon Reefer doing what he does best, and that's score the basketball. Reefer with a little crossover and off the glass jumper. So a 6-point Ryerson lead here. Vujadinovic gets it over for Teresa. And we're going to foul called against the Huskies. It's going to go against Brent Martindale.
Well, he's trying to bump that cutter. Vol has not been effective from the outside. If he wants to cut to 3, let him do that. If he wants to go set a ball screen, Martindale's a fast guy. Run up behind him if you want to jam it. Be close, but not so close where you're putting an elbow in his chest. Undisciplined play. Now Vol's going to go to the line and try to find a stroke, but he's still searching for it.
As Vol now 0 of 3 from the free throw line. Guy who shoots 83% in OUA conference play. Vol finally able to knock one down, pushes the Rams lead up to 7. 15-8 here with 54 seconds to play.
It's going to be a big 2 possessions of offense for St. Mary's. They need to mix a stop in there. You don't want to get this down to double digits.
Reefer now gets it over to their freshman Cordero James. Back to Reefer. 6 on the shot clock. James for 3. That's off. Ball with the defensive rebound, and now the Huskies need to bear down and get a stop. Jarvis cross court to Risa. Open for 3. And you can hear the splash of the net. Emmanuel DeRisa, red hot. 9 points early on in the first quarter.
Well, that's what happens. You go pass on the perimeter on offense for St. Mary's. Nothing downhill. You go down, leave a wide dead-eye shooter open. Now you're down 10 points. Clayton has to do something big.
6 seconds. Clayton takes some contact, puts it up, and can't get it to go, but he's headed to the free throw line for a pair.
Once go best case scenario is, again, the Huskies trying to go one-on-one, create something on their own. I still think they're at their best is when they're cutting and get their screen game going. It's one thing to run up and down 90 feet. It's another thing to keep your motion in the half court. We saw McGill do a good job of having a nice flow to their motion offense in the second game early on.
Clayton hits them both. Huskies now down 8. Jarisa has that deflected, has to put it up, can't get that one to go, but it was a dangerous look there. And after the first quarter, the Ryerson Rams take a 8-point lead, 18-10 into the break. And right now, take a look at this 3-ball from Emmanuel DeRisa. He's got 9. The Rams lead the St. Mary's Huskies 18-10. We'll be right back with the second quarter here on Beltline 5 TV1.
There's magic in an early morning. Being awake and on the go before anyone else. Committed. Dedicated. It might not always be easy to get up early, to find the time, to make the effort. But when it's something you love, it's worth it. When it's love, you put everything on the table. Coasting through life isn't an option. Coasting through anything isn't an option. Find what drives you at Dalhousie.
Welcome back to Beltline 5 TV1's coverage of the 2017 U Sport Final 8 Men's Basketball National Championship. And in this quarterfinal game, the Ryerson Rams, the #1 seed, have an 18-10 lead over the 8th seed, the St. Mary's Huskies. And Adam, the Huskies really struggled to shoot the basketball. 3 of 18 from the field, 0 of 6 from beyond the three-point line. What do they need to do to get their offense going in this one?
Well, they're dealing with the swarming length of perimeter defense of Ryerson. You know, the starting lineup comes right at you. They check Kevon Small in. You got these long, fast, in-your-face guys who are committed to defense. Ryerson played a full quarter of D there. St. Mary's forced into many threes, 0 for 6 from downtown, 3 of 18 overall. The shot blocking was there for Ryerson. It was really an all-around defensive performance.
As here's Teresa, he was the catalyst and picks up right where he left off. Emmanuel Teresa has 12 points now, 4 of 7 from the field.
This guy is a killer. Cordero James comes out, tries to block the shot, or at least contest it. Waved an arm, concentration, elevation, pure stroke. Teresa looks amazing to start. And an 8-second count for the Huskies.
And that's when you know things are really going poorly if you're St. Mary's. Didn't even seem to be aware of the time and clock situation on that one. So now the Rams lead by 11. Inbound here for Miles Charvis, third-year guard out of Mississauga. Charvis back for Teresa. Now guarded by Clayton. Pick and roll with ball, and Reefer is there to contest, but they're going to call Brent Martindale on a personal foul. That'll be his second.
Well, Ryerson's made a nice adjustment when they're dealing the ball screen. Now they brought it closer to the three-point range to where St. Mary's has to go over the top, respecting the shot of Teresa. That time Martindale gets out of position on the roll. Reefer has to come over and try to help it. Again, he's looking for the big block instead of just getting in position, jumping straight up and trying to stay without fouling.
And Adam Vols struggles from the line, continue. He's now 1 for 5. But the Rams keep going to him, working their offense through him offensively.
Well, it's wearing down the Huskies as well. You know, you go into the big guy. If you're guarding him, you got to chase him to the perimeter for some of these threes. You're trying to guard the ball screen. Martindale just having a heck of a time, and he's going to check out the longer, stronger Lual, see if he can deal with him.
Clayton able to break the press. And he's called for a charge. That's going to be his second personal of the game, and nothing's going right now for St. Mary's.
Well, he's coming down full steam ahead. All he sees is white jerseys. You just got to have the control of your dribble to pull that one out. Now, did McNeely sell that one? Yes. Was Clayton balanced to where he wasn't moving forward? Absolutely not. So he's putting himself in a position to take that offensive charge call.
Teresa takes the screen from Ball. Defended by Rose, spins, can't finish on the other side of the rim, and the Huskies just turn it over. Lual's outlet to no one in particular, and the Rams happily grab that one for another offensive possession. Peter McNeely, first team All-Canadian, he turns it over, and here's Theon Reefer. And Reefer's entry pass for Lual. Lual's trying to say it went off a Rams player's legs, but to no avail, as it's going to be another turnover for the Huskies. That's 6 turnovers for St. Mary's already.
Well, why is Reefer stopping, 10 feet behind the three-point line to put it in the post? Take an extra dribble or two, let Lual seal him up and put it in there. 2 passes in a row that are just rush jobs. St. Mary's playing way too fast.
Charvis defended by Elaine. Looking down low for Vol on the roll. Vol, tough shot with the left hand, can't get it to go. And the Huskies with a big stop. They needed it. Now Reefer. Sorry, Elaine here. Hands it off for Rose. Now Reefer comes around the handoff. Down low for Lual. 1-on-1 with Vol. Can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound and finishes. And a good active movement on the block there by Ashwil Lual.
Well, it's like he got his own offensive rebound. He took a terrible fadeaway shot. He actually had the drop step inside. Again, he's just moving without even looking right now. But nice job, Rouse chasing Teresa, gets smoked on the screen.
Personal foul there is going to go against Adam Vol. That's his second personal, and he's going to take a seat on the bench. Jawan Granum, the 5th-year forward out of Mississauga, checks in for Vol.
Watch Rouse jumps right up. Good communication, knows it's coming. Well, elbow is up a little bit.
As while we were taking a look at that replay, the Rams picked up a quick foul. That's going to go against Adika Peter McNeely, and that's his second personal. So right now, checking in will be Chase Vassell as Peter McNeely takes his first rest of the game, and much deserved. Hasn't made a big impact on the score sheet with just 2 points, but he has been a menace defensively for the Rams.
Well, they have him on the scoreboard for 2 fouls as well. So a big theme, both of these guys, Vol going out as well.
As that time, Miles Charvis bursts into the picture like he was shot out of a cannon and able to finish with the lay-in, pushes it up to a 12-point game. Alain, post touch here for Reefer. One-on-one with Small, and Small uses his length to get a piece of that, but Reefer is going to head to the free throw line.
Well, that's pretty well guarded. Unfortunately, he got on the arm a little bit there to Small. But Reefer squares up, one-on-one. Doesn't have much. You see, look at the paint. No cutters through there. All you see is white jerseys. Cordero James eventually comes in to try to rebound. But all the dribblers on an island right now. The only thing St. Mary's did well in the last possession, they went handoff with Rouse and Reefer, freed him up around the foul line, got a nice post touch for Lual. But that's been few and far between in terms of freeing up guys off the dribble for St. Mary's.
And as Reefer misses the free throw, the Huskies leaving some points on the line. Just 4 of 7, 5 of 8 now as that one drops in. So it's down to an 11-point Rams lead. Charvis surveys the scene in front of him, gets it over now for Vassell. Teresa off the Granum screen. Can't finish there. And here come the Huskies. It's Reefer. One-on-one with Vassell. Puts it up, can't get it to go, but on the tip is Brian Rouse.
Took 3 Rams to try to contest him. Great hustle down the court for Brian Rouse.
It's now down to a 9-point lead. 24-15. 3 ball there from Granum in the corner. Can't get that to go, but an offensive rebound. And the Huskies' body language is not good after giving up that second chance.
Well, this is what happens when you have to go deep in the bench.
Teresa into the lane, and Granum somehow powers it through the block. And
Strong pick.
Teresa out there is just so poised. It doesn't matter if the shot clock's running down. He's always playing at the same speed, just methodical, and knows where he wants to go.
But you see number 5, Tristan Arthur's out there for St. Mary's. If you're going to be in there as a young guy in the Nationals for the first time, you got to do the small stuff. You got to rebound.
So that time, Ash Lual hits the rebounds and able to put it up and in on the second chance. Now Vassell takes it right at Arthurs, and Arthurs is going to be whistled for the personal foul.
Gets beat in offensive and defensive transition, does Arthurs. Doesn't run back. Looks like it's going to be the end of the road for him immediately, I would think.
And that's going to be a quick rest there for Marquis Clayton. The Huskies star point guard checks back into the game with 2 personal fouls.
Well, they had to. You know, it's danger time, 9 points. I know you're saying it's a long game, but Ryerson dominating right now. Arthurs just can't play with this competition. Got missed on a face cut, offensive rebound, almost turned it over, then loses a guy. Coach Tossick can't afford 3 mistakes in a row.
And we spoke about the Huskies leaving some points on the line. The Rams now 6 of 11 from the free throw line. Maybe a little bit of jitters playing in this big building in front of the Huskies crowd here at the Scotiabank Center. Clayton finds Lual on the block. Lual can't power it up through, but he's going to head to the line to shoot 2.
Well, I like Lual's placement. He's getting a little bit crafty now where he's rebounding from and cutting into some space in the key. Watch, just patient, holds his ground. He should have just put a little hook shot up and in there, Al, rushed that into the defense. Rams not liking their call for the foul. Lual's creating all of that contact. But he's just, I like that he's cutting fast. I like that he's rebounding hard. But his passing and his shooting has to be a little more relaxed. Be patient. You're the biggest guy out there. Put the ball high. Hook it in. Trust yourself. You can pass from a high position as well. See everything out there on the floor. A little more patience to his game.
As right there, Jawan Granum picked up his second personal, so a 3rd Rams starter. Now Peter McNeely, Vol, and Granum all with 2 personal fouls in the first half.
And they go back to Vol, so he's the guy Coach Rana trusts.
Teresa looking to use his height advantage against Clayton. Kicks it out for Vujadinovic. He can't get that to drop. And Lual being a beast on the glass on both ends. Finds a cutting a lane. It ends up in the hands of Lual. And Ashwil Lual putting up a monster first half, keeping the Huskies in it. He's got 9.7 rebounds, and the Rams throw it away.
They're going to take a timeout here, too, and a good one for Coach Rana. To St. Mary's is starting to get some of that mo. A big part of that is hustle. Watch Ashwil Lual work. This guy runs the floor with speed. He's a tall guy, but he's fast. You see, kind of gets into traffic a little bit there, cleans up his own glass inside of 3 Rams. He finishes. Next thing you know, Reefer starts to have confidence that he can get in there, take some tough shots. Luol's going to clean it up. That's the second fast break in a row for St. Mary's where they've missed the initial shot. Aline bobbled that one. Aline cleaned it up. They missed the shot earlier. Rouse followed it up for the tip in on the Reefer miss. 3 guys running down on offense, not giving up on any play. St. Mary's knows that offense isn't going to come easy. It might be second chance, it might be third chance, but they need to stay with it, and they've stuck with it. When they could have folded, Ryerson was pressing really hard, but St. Mary's stayed the course, battled foul trouble. Now they're back within 2 possessions.
And Adidas is proud to be the official apparel, uniform, and footwear supplier to U Sports and the official partner of 38 U Sports schools. As the Huskies right now, they are on a 9-3 run, cutting the deficit from 12 down to 6. And a little bit of momentum. You see this great crowd here. First of 2 quarterfinal games in tonight's doubleheader, featuring a Halifax team, as we're going to see the Dow Tigers tip off at 8 p.m. Atlantic time against the Alberta Golden Bears. And the crowd here, the energy here in Halifax as the Final 8 returns for the first time in 5 years to its longtime home.
Yeah, great to see it back in Halifax for sure. What Ryerson would love to see is Adiko Peter McNeely come back in the game, but he's likely going to sit with those 2 fouls. Since he's left, they've lost a lot of court presence. He's a big IQ guy in terms of knowing the right thing to do. Is an extension of Coach Rana out there on the floor. Since he's gone out, it's been a little bit scrambled. Darius is kind of the pure assassin out there. Peter McNeely has the tools, but he's also great at both ends of the floor, knowing exactly what to do.
So the Huskies looking to keep this run going. It's Kamara Lane. Lane, the third-year guard out of Scarborough, was an AUS All-Rookie Team member 2 years ago. Luol with the jumper, that's off. Vujadinovic able to gather the rebound, and here come the Rams and Derisa. Miles Charvis now. Off for Adam Vole. Vole hands it back off for Charvis. 10 on the shot clock. Vujadinovic into the lane, spins and finishes around the smaller Kamara Lane. And a nice take there from a role player for Coach Rana's Rams.
Well, Philip went on a solo mission that time. One-on-one, had some spacing. Nice spin.
Clayton looking to drop it off for Luol, and that pass just a little too hot to handle for the big man. And that's going to be another turnover for the Huskies. That's 7 in the first half against St. Mary's.
Just losing possessions. Not able to cut into the lead. Not even getting a shot off. That's what St. Mary's can't afford.
Rams now going a little bit smaller without Vol or Granum in at center. Charvis kicks it out for Kevon Small. Can't hit the 3-ball. And Elaine able to chase down the rebound.
St. Mary's guards have been rebounding hard. Elaine's in there. Rouse has been rebounding very well also.
Now Brian Rouse with a circus shot. Can't get it to drop. Rebounded by Small.
4 Ryerson Rams in the paint. Rouse still shoots it. Got to kick it out.
Teresa on the show and go. Can't finish, but he's headed the line to shoot too. Showing off that nasty handle, just blowing by Fyander that time.
Yeah, when he sees Fyander guarding him, it's green light time for Manny Teresa. Check this one out. He's looking. He said, uh-oh, it's time. Gets by Rouse. Sorry, I thought that was Fyander. Nonetheless, no one can guard this guy right now. He's on fire.
Teresa now 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Game high 13 points for the first team All-OUA All-Star. Averages about 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals a game, stuffing the stat sheet for the 17-2 Ryerson Rams. And Kevon Small called for another personal. That's going to be his second, so another key player for the Rams in a bit of foul trouble in the first half.
Well, it's going to put Kamara Leen to the line as well. Very undisciplined play. Did a nice job slowing the basketball. 4 seconds on the off of the shot clock. But at 5 and 6, and you got him going towards the sideline. Know when to stop. You just got to stop your pursuit. Allow the Huskies to work in a late clock scenario. Your half-court defense has been stellar if you're Ryerson. Instead, 2 free trips for Kamar.
Lane knocks down 2 from the stripe. Down to an 8-point lead for the Rams, 31-23. Teresa. Kick out here for Jarvis. Jarvis drives baseline, reverse, can't get it to go. Off glass. Now Rose looking to turn on the Burns. Brian Rose, and he's whistled for a carry. Another turnover for the Huskies, perhaps trying to play a little too fast.
A little too fast for sure. Not sure he carried that one, but he was getting into traffic. You're right, Alan. That was going to be a tough pass. Again, going a little too much into danger land. Brian Rose is a talented player.
Now Vujadinovic using his strength to muscle inside on a lane, and he's a mismatch out there.
This guy's very fundamental in his movement. You saw his dribble attack last time. This time seals out a lane on the shoulder. Beautiful. And a poke.
Clayton has that one poked loose by Vujadinovic. Now the Rams back to Vujadinovic, and once again he scores. That's 6 straight for the 6'7" forward out of Burlington, Ontario. And right, just like that, it's back up to a 12-point Rams lead. As Clayton attacks Vujadinovic on the other end. Goes sliding into the crowd, and he's going to head to the line for 2.
One-on-one attack, a little better idea for Clayton. That time Ryerson didn't have the numbers. But Ashul Lual going to have to come right back into the game. He was the one difference for Coach Tosk. As soon as he went down, Ryerson went on a mini run.
And Lual has to be careful here as well. He's got 2 personals. Don't want to pick up a third in the 2.5 minutes before halftime. As Clayton knocks down the first. It's now 3 of 3 from the line, but yet to hit a field goal.
Well, allowing St. Mary's to shoot 15 free throws in the first half is just letting them hang around. You know, if he makes this, it's a 10-point lead. But without the freebies and the fouls, Ryerson could be in a much more dominant position. St. Mary's keeping the pressure on, at least hanging around.
Branham now hands it off for Teresa. Teresa matched up with Fiander, can't get that to go with the spin off the glass. Now the Huskies break the press. They've got numbers here if they hurry. Rose, jumper, rims out. Reefer on the follow, gets it to go through contact. And it's back down to an 8-point lead for Ryerson.
Another bad shot for Brian Rose, but Reefer cleans it up. Got hit in the face, it looked like, as well on that.
Roshane Roberts. Kick out Branham for 3. That rims out Fiander with the board, and now the Huskies want to run.
St. Mary's needs to slow down, get a good shot. I know Ryerson's been great in the half court, but you can't turn it over.
Rose with the Euro step, able to knife through the defense and finish. And just like that, the Huskies have it back down to 6. And that's going to force Coach Roy Rana to call a timeout and talk things over.
And doesn't that look better, Alan? You know, we're not talking about pulling it out, standing at the perimeter for 10 seconds. Keep the pressure going downhill, but do it in an advantage position. Rouse slowed it down, pulled it out a half a step with the dribble, saw the defender opened up his hip just a little bit, and punched it downhill. Ryerson doing a good job. There's Philippe on the move. Nice, slow, patented spin move. Nice ball fake. Again, nothing you can do. Seals off a lean. Smartly doesn't foul, lets him lay it in. But St. Mary's offense starting to get rolling when they set the screen. Not that time. Here we go again. Look at the big man running the floor. But this is the work from Reefer and Russ I was talking about earlier. Reefer pulls it down. Well, he might be selling the face shot a little bit more than I thought that time. But watch Russ, slows it down. Oh, you're not watching? No problem. No shot blocking that time. Grantham was late coming in, didn't want to challenge it with 2 personals. St. Mary's needs to pick their spots a little bit better. Again, Rouse, great player. Play within yourself. Play what the game is giving you. Don't force the issue. St. Mary's looked like they were perhaps left for dead there for a little bit, down 12. It's back to a 6-point ball game.
Yeah, the Huskies on a bit of a run here, 6-0, and shooting much better in the second quarter after shooting 3 of 18 in the first. They're 6 of 12, 50% here in the second frame. As we come out of the timeout, Miles Jarvis returning to action for Ryerson. Jarvis Kicks it over for Roshane Roberts. Catch and shoot three. That's off. Rose with the defensive board, and here come the Huskies.
Well, a quick three with 15 seconds left on the shot clock, contested. Now what Ryerson wanted out of the timeout.
Rose gets it to Reefer on the block, and he attacks and finishes with the reverse. And the crowd is starting to get into this one. The Huskies have it down to a 4-point game.
His back completely to the basket in full movement. Reefer still finishes that one. Big stop here for St. Mary's if they can get it.
Jarvis with the blow-by, attacking Fyander off the dribble and finishing.
You used the word burst earlier to describe Jarvis, and that's exactly what it is. When he wants to turn it on, good luck stopping him.
Reefer now the hot hand for the Huskies, pulls up from the free throw line and knocks it down. And the Huskies continue to cut into this Rams lead. Kevon Small. Derisa now, one-on-one with Rouse. Derisa drives left, goes up through the contact, can't finish. And that's the tough thing with Derisa. You can't force him left. He's pretty much ambidextrous out there.
Yeah, either way, does decent job, or does Rouse here of just stopping and trying to hold his ground. So he stops, he's standing there. Derisa creates the contact. That's tough. Rouse was a little bit with his arm over the top. Nonetheless, you got to let these guys play it out. The game's had a good flow. Derisa getting some respect as one of the leading scorers in Canada. I get that.
As Derisa able to hit the free throws, push it back up to a 6-point lead, and now the Rams and Coach Roy Rana going a little deeper into his bench. In comes Warsame Mohammed for his first action, as well as Chase Vassell returning.
Well, smart to get Graham out of there to avoid his third personal.
Now Rose with the burst, able to finish, and the Huskies, horses, the athletes, Brian Rose and Theon Reefer, it's been all them in the second half of this second quarter. Now with less than 10 seconds to go, Derisa isn't giving this one up. Pull-up jumper is off. Reefer with the rebound, and that'll do it for the first half of this one. So that second frame, the St. Mary's Huskies outscore the Ryerson Rams 25-21, finally able to get some offense going, and they take a 4-point deficit, 39-35, the Rams lead heading into halftime.
Well, St. Mary's kind of threw some body blows of their own along the way in the first half. They shot a higher percentage, more disciplined shooting in terms of shot selection towards the later stages of it. Ryerson kept fouling. Their main dogs were out of it. The shot blocking all of a sudden wasn't as effective on the back end. They didn't want to risk taking that third. You saw Graham and Vol struggled with not being as able to be aggressive down the stretch, and Theon Reefer, he did his thing when it was needed. He looked a lot like the Reefer who scored 28 in the AUS quarterfinal on opening night.
And right now we're going to send it to break, but we'll be back in about 14 minutes with some more analysis and the second half of this quarterfinal action from the U Sport Final 8 Men's Basketball Championships. At the half, the Ryerson Rams lead the hometown St. Mary's Huskies 39-35. We'll be right back with more on 5TV1.
Is that 5TV?
Oh, you know it, man.
With ultra stunning 4K picture quality.
I love using Restart.
I use that all the time.
We love having Crave TV and Netflix right on it.
I'm having all my TVs set up wirelessly. It's amazing.
Can you imagine some people still don't have 5 TV?
I don't have it. Because I was living abroad.
With so many reasons to love 5TV, it's time to make the switch to the best TV service.
There's magic in an early morning. Being awake and on the go before anyone else. Committed. Dedicated. It might not always be easy to get up early, to find the time, to make the effort. But when it's something you love, it's worth it. When it's love, you put everything on the table. Coasting through life isn't an option. Coasting through anything isn't an option. Find what drives you at Dalhousie.